How are we doing?
Good.
Good.
Tell me everything that's happening in season 15.
Everything that's happening in season 15?
Every single thing.
I don't really work on the show anymore. That's more of a Meredith question.
Yeah.
I think she's really driving the ship there.
Yeah.
Okay?
That was it?
That's it.
That's what's happening.
Okay. All right.
So do you think it's easier or harder to develop a season when you kind of have a set ending for a series finale in mind?
You mean it's compared to having like the rug pulled out from under us later in the season? It's obviously much easier to develop it if you have a lot of lead time. We knew last spring, and fairly quickly after we knew what the last moment was going to be. And so everything else has been a journey toward that moment. And that path has changed, and I'm sure will continue to change as we go through things. But we know how it ends, and I think we're all pretty happy with it.
So we saw that Chuck was essentially like the puppet master, and now the strings are cut. Can we assume that the strings are completely cut? So free will it's entirely free will at this point. Whatever
Instead
they're
of the
doing
fake
going forward,
free will
instead of
that
like
was
fake free will.
Right. I think that's a question Sam and Dean are really struggling with.
Okay.
I mean,
They don't know.
God is out there. God is gone at the end of the season.
Okay.
Is he around? Is he gone off to Squirrel World? I don't know. Well, I do,
hope
but
he goes to
they don't
Squirrel
know.
World. That's
And so I think it's a real question they're asking themselves. And I think in some ways it's scary, but in some ways it's freeing, because at the end of the day, other than dealing with a billion souls escaping hell, after that's taken care
minor
of,
detail.
they have agency in a way that they've never had agency before. But I think there is also a question of, do they really or do they not? And that's really a question they're asking themselves throughout the entire season.
Real question about your tenure as showrunner. Like, what does it kind of mean to you in how you've been able to have this team work together? Kind of this script writers a little bit more collaboratively than how the show started with more set monster of the week episodes. Like,
Sure.
What was your aim as a showrunner?
Well, I think you adjust to the show as the show adjusts to itself. The show every television show, to an extent, evolves over the course of its run, right? Supernatural started off 15 years ago, as we all know. Television was much different 15 years ago.
Yeah.
And Supernatural, as it exists now, is much more in line with television as it exists now. I think we're still one of the few genre shows that do spit one-offs and things like that, because we have the real estate to do it. If you have 8 episodes, you don't. And so for us, it's like you want to, and I love those stories, you want to keep that going, but I think the show would feel very old-fashioned if we were a kid, if we were Law and Order tonally, if we were Law and Order with monsters.
Yeah.
And so the shows had to evolve, and I think, that started under Eric. It's because it really started in season 4 and 5, and that's
and you came in 4.
That's where I came in, and it continued under Sarah, and it continued under Jeremy, and it's continued now. And I think Supernatural has always kind of been, I would call it its own thing, and it has not been a trend-following show in some ways, but it's not like, you never want the show to go too far from its roots, but you want the show to feel current, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
How do you hope the show has made its impact on the TV industry itself, legacy?
I don't know. A lot of people steal from us, if that matters.
Yeah.
But no, we're a long-running show. I think our show is, especially in the way television has evolved in the last 3 to 5 years, is a very different type of show. And the way we approach how the show works is very different than you would approach it if you were doing a Netflix show or something along those lines. We have more episodes, we have more hours, we have things like that. And it allows you to take more chances. And I think in some shows, especially short-run shows, that can be a problem they have. They feel so much pressure to finish this story and finish it in this certain way that you can become afraid of taking chances. And I think Supernatural, and the thing that certainly I've taken from it, or one of the things I've taken from it, is not being afraid to take those chances. Because those chances, every big swing we've taken has worked for us, to a greater or lesser degree.
Do you actually have any tidbits to share, about what we can expect for the first chunk of the season?
I think for the first chunk of the season, you've got Sam and Dean dealing with an apocalyptic problem. We're not ending the show with an apocalypse. We're starting the season with an apocalypse.
That's not the whole season's arc.
That's not the whole season's arc. And from there, it's about, well, what's the fallout of that, number one, and then once you've kicked that hornet's nest, what got kicked loose? In some ways, some old friends will come back, and in some ways, some old enemies will come back, and some people we've seen before, some people we haven't seen for a very long time.
Any specifics?
Yeah, sure. Rowena, Eileen.
Eileen.
Adam. Who else? Those three are good.
Really?
I'm sure there are more.
Yeah, okay, really.
Right?
Adam and Eileen are confirmed to
Yes.
be returning in season 50.
Yes.
I think we're done asking.
That is very good
All right.
news. Thank
Great.
you.
Thank you.